Okay, so so in the last class we have seen like how to work with the sets. So then we'll see. Okay, set is a mutable. Okay, set is a mutable collection. Set is mutable collection. Okay. So after creating set, we can do changes. Okay, set is a mutable collection. So after creating set, we can do what? Changes, right? After creating set, we can do the changes. Because set is a mutable here. Set is a mutable collection. And after creating set, what we can do is we can do the changes. So it will provide some mutable methods. Set is having some mutable methods. So what are the mutable methods of set is? So these are the mutable methods of the set. After creating a set, if you want to add the elements, we can add the elements by using a method called which one? Add. After creating set, if you want to add the elements, after creating set, if you want to add the elements, you're adding the elements by using add method. You're adding the elements using add method. Okay, see here, I'm creating one empty set. I said you cannot create empty set using curly braces. Okay, you cannot create empty set using curly braces. If you want to create an empty set, you are trying to use what here? Set type. Okay, you cannot create empty set using curly braces. If you want to create a set, empty set, if you want to create a empty set, you have to use what is that here? Set type. So this is a set type is created. Now the set is empty. So there's no elements in the set. Now you can add it by using a method called add. So what you're writing here, set one dot add. So you're trying to add the element called 10. Set one dot add. You're trying to add the element 20. Set one dot add. You're adding the element called 30. So I'm trying to add number of elements. But is it these elements are added in the same order? No. So because set is unordered. So if I print set 1, now the set 1 is what here? 40, 10, 50, 20 and 30. Is it order of insertion is the same? No, order of insertion is not same because it is unordered. So if you want to add the elements after creating the set, you can add it by using a method called add. If you want to add the elements after creating the set, you're trying to use a method called which one? Add. So add is a method. So that is for adding the elements after creating the set. It's for adding the elements after creating the set. So that is done by using a method called add. So if you want to remove the elements, you are trying to use a method called remove, discard, pop, clear. So four methods are there for removing elements. Four methods are there for removing elements. Four methods are there for removing elements. Okay, four methods are there for removing elements. But add is to add only one element. Okay, not more than one element. We'll see how to add more than one element. So for that, you'll be using update. Okay, so there is another method is there for that. And that method is update. So update method can be used for adding more than one element. Okay, so add method is for adding only one element. So remove, see I said set is not index based collection. Set is not index based, it is non-index based collection, or remove it followed by element. So remove element from the set. Remove element from the set. Suppose if there's an element is nothing but value or item. Remove element from the set. If the element is not there, it rises which error? Key error. Okay, if the element is not there within the set, it will rise a key error. So remove element from the set rises key error if element is not contained in the set. But if you don't want to rise the error, if the element is not there, then you will be using discard. So discard it followed by element. So remove element remove element from the set if it is present. If the element is there, it will remove. If the element is not there, it will not raise any error. But here, if the element is not there, it rises what? Error. What is that error here? Key error. But here, remove element from the set if it is there. If the element is not there, it doesn't raise a error. There's a pop here. Remove and return. This pop method will remove as well as return an arbitrary element from the set. It will remove and return an arbitrary element from the set, and it rises which error? Key error if the set is empty. Arbitrary element is like random, because as a set is ordered or unordered, unordered. So generally pop is remove which element? Last element, because pop is belongs to stack, last in, first out. But this will do two operations. It will remove as well as return. But which element it will return? Arbitrary element from the set. And it rises key error if the set is what? Empty. And if you want to remove all the elements, then you are trying to use a method called clear. Remove all elements from the set. If you want to remove all the elements from the set, you are using a method called clear. Remove and return arbitrary element from the set. Now for that, you are using a method called pop. So there is a method called discard and followed by element. Remove element from the set if it is there. If it is there, it will remove the element. Okay, yes. Now I create one set here. I create one set. So I can create a set by writing elements, or I'm creating a set by using range. So using this range of values, I'm creating what here? Set. Now set 1 is having 10 elements, but this is not ordered, right? Set is not ordered. Set is what here? Unordered. Then after creating the set, if you want to remove, you'll try to use set 1 dot remove. So which element you want to remove? Just give that element. So I want to remove the element 30. So after removing 30, now you can see, so 30 get deleted. And after that, you can see 100, 70, 40, 10, 80, 50, 20, 90, and what? 60. Even if I'm writing set 1 dot remove, set 1 dot remove some 40. So 40 get deleted. So print set 1 means, so 40 is deleted. If I'm saying set 1 dot remove, okay, if I try to remove 30, so the element 30 is not there within the set. The element 30 is not there within the set. Then it raises what? Key error. If the element is not there, it raises which error here? Key error. Because element 30 is not there within the set. But to avoid that error, if element is not there, I don't want any error should be raised. Then I use discard. If I say discard, discard is for deleting. But is it element 30 is there in the set? Is it element 30 is there within the set? No, 30 is not there within the set. So if I'm saying set 1 dot discard, the element 30 is not there within the set. Okay. Now, is it raised any error? No, it is not raised any error because 30 is not there. Now, that is the difference between remove and discard. Remove will raise the error if the element is not there within the set. But discard will not raise the error if the element is not there within the set. It will just silent. It will just silent. If I'm saying discard, I want to remove the element 20. Is it 20 is there? Yes. It will delete. If 20 is there, yes, it will delete. So I'm saying print set 1. So these are the elements of what here? Set 1. So what is the difference between remove and discard is remove will remove the element if it is exists. If not exists, raises key error. Discard remove the element. Discard also remove the element if it is exists. If not exists, it doesn't raises any error. It will not raise any error. Okay. And set 1 dot. Now there is a pop. Set 1 dot pop. So pop will do two operations. One is remove and one more is return. It will return the element. It will return the element and then it will remove the element. If I'm saying E1, what is the value of E1? 100. So arbitrary elements. Okay, set 1. Which element is removed? 100 is removed. But generally pop means last in, first out. But set is not ordered. Set is unordered collection. So it will try to remove which element? Arbitrary element. It will try to remove which element? Arbitrary element, which is called as a random. It will remove the arbitrary element. Okay. It will remove arbitrary element. Okay. So if you want to remove all the elements, if you want to remove all the elements from the set, you're just writing set 1 dot clear. If I say set 1 dot clear, now the empty set has become what here? Empty. That is removing all the elements. So that is removing all the elements from the set. Removing all the elements from the set is done by using a method called which one? Clear. Clear is a method. So that will remove all the elements from the set. Okay. So these are mutable operations. One is adding, removing, not, you cannot replace it. If you want to replace it, you need to know what? If you want to replace what, you need to know? Position. If you want to replace it, you should know what? Position. But set is index based or non-index based? Non-index based. So I cannot replace it because we cannot find the position of element. List you can replace it. In list you can replace it because list is an index base. List is an index base, you can replace it. But set is not index base, you cannot replace it. Okay, you cannot replace. You can do only adding. See here, you can do only adding and removing. But is it any is it any method to replace the values? No, there's no method for replacing the values. There's no method for replacing values. Okay. Now let us see some problems in hackers rank related with sets. Let us see some problems in hackers rank. Yeah, now just to see here. Now this is related with a set. Problem related with the add. See here, if you want to add a single element to an existing set, see if you want to add a single element to the existing set, we can use add operation. We can use add operation. It adds the element. It adds the element to the set and returns what? None. Nothing it will return. Okay, now this is an example. Okay, for add here. Then this is a task given. Apply your knowledge of add operation to help your friend Rupal. Apply your knowledge of the add operation to help your friend Rupal. Rupal has huge collection of country stamps. Rupal has huge collection of country stamps. Now she decided to count the total number of distinct country stamps in her collection. She asked your help. Okay. You pick the stamps one by one from a stack of n country stamps and find the total number of distinct country stamps. Okay, Rupal has huge collection of country stamps. She decided to count the total number of distinct country stamps in her collection. She asked for your help. You pick the stamps one by one from a stack of n country stamps and find the total number of distinct country stamps. The first line contains an integer n, which is nothing but total number of country stamps. The next n line contains the number of country where the stamp is from. The next n line contains the name of the country where the stamp is from. So output the total number of distinct country stamps on single line. Now first you input the 7. 7 means you are trying to read how many country stamps. 7 country stamps like UK, China, USA, France, New Zealand, UK and France. But how many distinct country stamps are there? Only 5. How many distinct country stamps are there? Only 5. So UK and France repeated how many times here? 2 times. So that will be counted how many times? Only 1 time. It means where you are adding all these country stamps within the set. Distinct means where you are adding all these country stamps within the set. Okay, now you have to write the code here. So select compiler. So select the compiler here, which compiler you are using. And then you can start writing the code. Logged in already. Yes. So what does the first line contain? N is nothing but number of stamps. Just write n equal to integer of input. Okay, now this is nothing but number of stamps. And then you have to create a set. Okay. Okay. This is stamps. Okay. This is a stamps set. Okay. Now this is empty set. Now initially stamps set is what here? Empty set. It is empty. Okay. And you are trying to add how many stamps here for I in range of n. How many stamps you are adding here? N stamps. Now you are adding, you are reading each time one stamp. So stamp equal to input. Okay, input. So this is nothing but you are trying to input one stamp, and this stamp you are adding into the stamps set. So stamps set dot add. What you are adding? Stamp. In stamps set, you are adding which one? Stamp. After adding this at the end, you have to display what? Total number of distinct stamps. So you are trying to say stamps set dot, okay, dot length of. So it's nothing but length of stamps set. So length of stamps set. Length of stamps set. How many stamps are there? Count you have to display, right? But you are reading each time one stamp and you are adding that stamp into what? Stamps set. But if you are adding this UK 2 times, how many times it will add it? Only 1 time. If you are adding France and France 2 times, how many times it will add it? Only 1 time, because set doesn't allow what? Duplicates. Okay. Now run the code. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now this is the inputs and this is output, and then submit the code here. Okay, right? So I run the code as well as what? Submit the code. Okay. Yes. Okay, right. So I try to copy this link here. And this is a solution. This is a solution for this particular problem. Okay, right? So there is an operation called, yes. So this is add, and there is also operation related with discard, remove, and one more is what? Pop. Discard, remove, and pop. Discard, remove, and pop. So what is this here? Discard, remove, and pop. See here. So the task is like this. So I think you know the methods already. Remove will remove the element. If the element is exist, it will remove. If the element is not exist, it raises what here? Key error. So discard method, this will remove the element from the set. If the element is not there, it doesn't raises key error. And pop will remove and return arbitrary element from the set. Your task is, now this is your task. You have a non-empty set. You have a non-empty set called S, and you have to execute n commands given in n lines. You have to execute how many commands? N commands given in how many lines? N lines. The commands will be pop, remove, and what is that? Discard. What are the commands you are executing? Pop, remove, and discard. So this is the input format. The first line contains an integer n. So the number of elements in the set S. The second line contain n spaces separated elements of a set S. All the elements are non-negative integers less than or equal to 9. Okay. So the second line contain n spaces separated elements of set S. All of the elements are non-negative integers less than or equal to 9. The third line contains an integer n, the number of commands. The third line contains an integer n, the number of commands. The next n lines contains either pop, remove, or discard commands followed by their associated values. So first you are trying to read how many elements? 9 elements. But all these elements are given in one line. Okay, all these elements are given in one line. Now these elements get added in what? Set. And after that you are executing how many commands here? 10 commands. How many commands you are executing? 10 commands. What is the first command? Pop. Then again you are saying remove, then discard, discard, remove, pop, discard, remove, pop, and one more is what? Discard. So this many number of commands you are executing. After executing all these commands, okay, after executing all these commands, okay, so how many elements are there in the set? Only one element, that is 4. So sum is what here? 4. Sum is what here? 4. Okay. So what you have to do is, now you need to know one thing here. How can you read more than one element in one line? So actually input will read how many values? Actually input function will read how many values? Only one value. Input function read how many values? Only one value. Now how to read more than one value? How to read more than one value using input function? Okay, actually input function will read how many values? Only one value. So input function read only one value, only one value. So input function read the value as what? String. Input function read the value as a string. Input function read the value as a string. Okay. Input function read the value as what? String. For example, okay, for example, if I'm writing some A equal to input, okay, using this input, I can read only one value. For example, enter the value 10. So 10 will be stored inside what? A. So, but A is a variable of which type? What is the type of A? String. What is the type of A here? String. Okay, because input function read the value as which type? String type. Suppose I'm saying B equal to input. If I'm saying B equal to input, now A value is a string. A is which type here? String, having the value called which one? 10. If I'm saying input, I'll try to input, okay, 10 space 20. 10 space 20 space 30. So I read how many values here? One value only. This is one value only. Okay, this one value is assigned to what here? B. So if I say type of B, if I say type of B, B is which type here? String. And this string is having how many values? This is string is only one value, and within this how many values are there? 3 values. Actually input will read how many values? Only one value as a string. So within this string how many values are there? 3 values. So what you can do, you can split. What you can do, you can split this string into how many values? 3 values. you can split this into how many values. I'm saying C equal to B dot. B is nothing but string object. And this string object you are trying to split. The string you are trying to split where at space. You are trying to split at what here? Space. Then the split will return a list. The split will return what here? List with how many values? 3 values. The split will return a list with how many values? 3 values. This is one value, this is second value, and this is what here? Third value. But here we read all the values in one line and we split it. What we did here? Split. And I want this value to be converted. See, these values are which type? These values are which type? String type. But I want to convert each value into which type? Integer. I can convert each value into integer by applying one function. Okay, how you convert string to integer? Into function. If you want to apply a function to the collection of values, you are trying to use one function called map. This function called which one? Map. Mapping is nothing but applying. What you are applying here? Integer function. What you are applying here? Integer function to C. C is nothing but list. What is here? List. And this list is having how many values? 3 values. So what will happen is every time it will read one value and apply which function? Integer, and return this value is which type? Integer type. And read the second value and apply which function? Integer, and return as which type? Integer type. Read the third value and convert into integer and return as which type here? Integer type. Okay, so it will return one iterator. It will return this iterator. Now this iterator you can convert into which type? List type. This iterator you can convert into which type? List type or set type or any type. List type or set type or any type. Now in this case, now this is a list. In this case, this is a list. And this list is having how many values? 3 values. 10, 20, 30 of which type? Integer type. So if you want to input more than one value, you input, you read, or you input more than one value in one line. But input will read how many values? Only one value. And that one value you're trying to split into how many values? Number of values. Number of values by using separator. What is the separator I used here? Space. And then I split and then I convert. I split as well as what? Convert. Then yes, store that into what here? List. You can store either in list, you can store either in set, or you can store in any other type. So this is how you read more than one value. This is how you read more than one value using input function. This is how you read more than one value using input function. For example, suppose I'm writing a comma b equal to input. Enter any two values. Enter any two values. So what this input function will do? Read which one? String. Input function will read the string, and this string you are trying to split. This string you are trying to split into how many values? 2 values. And first value is assigned to A and second value is assigned to B. That is unpacking. Then what I'm doing it, I'm printing A value and B value. And I'm trying to print a type of which one? A and type of B. So I'm printing even what is the type of A and what is the type of B. So I can enter the values. Now 100 space 200. I can see 100 is one value and 200 is one value. And these values are of which type? String type. So I read the value and I split that values into how many values? Two values. And first value is given to A and second value is given to what? B. If you want to add it, convert this. Integer of A plus integer of A plus integer of B. So 100, 200, you can see the result is what? 300. Result is a 300. So you can use any separator. While input, but here I use the separator as what here? String. I use a separator as what here? String. But you can give any separator. So at the time of split, you have to use a separator where you want to split it. You have to use a separator where you want to split. Okay. So 100, 200. Now it is a string and this is also string. Suppose I want to read. So write a program to read. Suppose write a program to read n elements into list. Okay, read n elements in one line. Read n elements in one line. In one line only. Read how many elements? N elements into one line. You have to enter all the elements in single line. Single line. One line or single line. So what I'm doing here, n equal to integer of input. Enter how many elements? You want to read how many elements? Enter how many elements? Enter how many elements? Okay. Now you have to read those many number of elements in one line. You have to enter those elements in one line. Input. Okay. Enter elements. You have to enter all the elements. But you are trying to input all the elements as what? String. You enter like this 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. But all these are entered in one line, but it will read this as one string. It will read this as one string. And this string you have to split into how many strings? N strings. Then what you are doing is you are saying L equal to L equal to elements dot split. So where you want to split it? Space. So element is nothing but string, and this string you are trying to split. But what is the separator you are using here? Space. So it will split it space and written as one list. It will written as one list. See here. But you have to split. You have to split. When you split it, it will split into this many, right? But from this, you have to read only how many elements? N elements. I said the split will return the list. From list, you have to read how many elements? N elements. Now this is nothing but slicing. Suppose by mistakenly if I enter some 80, 90, 100. Okay. Actually assume that N value is 5. N value is 5. But you enter how many elements here? 10 elements. If you split this, it will split into how many values? 10 values. But what is the value of N? 5. Means you have to read how many values from the list? 5 values. Slicing. There is no start is given. Start is 0 and stop is what? N. So start is 0 and stop is a N. Now if you run this, enter how many elements? I want to enter 5 elements. Okay, I'll try to enter like this 10, 20, 30, 40. Now you can see all these are strings. All these are what here? Strings. Enter how many elements? 5 elements. As I said 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. But it's taken how many elements here? Only 5 elements. Okay, because we enter the value of N as what? 5. I want to convert this Actually, these values are strings. I want to convert into what? I want to convert into what? Integer. Then use which function here? Map. So mapping is nothing but applying. You are applying a function to each element of the list. You are applying a function to the each element of the list. You are applying a function to each element of the list by using a function called map. Okay. So you are writing your map. Which function you want to apply? Integer function to iterable. Iterable is nothing but collection. So what is my collection here? L. So after applying, it will return one iterator. So it means now this split will return one list. Okay, now how many elements? 5 elements. So that is 10, 20. So this is 30 and this is 40. And there's one more element which is called as 50. How many elements here? 5 elements. If separator is not there, how you split it here? There should be some separator for split here. There should be some separator, right? So after applying it, you are applying this string converting to integer, and string you are converting to integer. And this will apply function called integer and return as one iterator. And that you are converting into which type? List type. After applying, you are converting the result into which type? List type. So print L1. Okay. Now how many elements? 5 elements, 10 space, 20 space, 30 space, 40. Okay. Now you can see here in single quotes. Here it is there in single quotes, but here no. You can convert this either into list. You can convert this either into what here? Set. Map of integer of list. So I converted what into set. But set doesn't allow what? Duplicates. 5 elements. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 2 and 5. Now you can see 1, 2, 3, 2, 5. But here 1, 2, 3, 5. Because is it set allow duplicate elements? No. Set doesn't allow any duplicate elements. So this is how you read more than one value using one input function. How to read more than one value using one input function. Okay. Yeah, you can combine. You can read more than one value in one input function. Yes. So in this exams, like this exams, technical exams, they'll ask you to enter all the elements in one line. If they ask you to input all the elements in one line, you have to use one input, because one input will read only one value, but you read one value and you split this into how many values? 9 values. You read one value and you split this into how many values? 9 values. Okay, now first step is, see here. What is the first step here? Read how many elements? N elements. So I'm reading n elements into the set. Set 1 equal to set of, I can convert like this. Set of map of integer comma input. So here I'm writing everything in one line. So input will read one value. Input will read one value, and that you are trying to split. That you are trying to split into number of values. And each value you are converting to integer and you are storing into what? Set. But you are trying to read how many values here? N values. So here, instead of writing number of statements, I write this elements, split, then I said map. Instead of writing 3 steps, I write in 1 step. So input will read a value and that you split into how many values, n values, and convert and store into which type? Set a type. Then after that next is how many commands you want to execute. Next is how many commands you want to execute. How many commands you want to execute. How many commands you want to execute. Suppose I want to execute 10 commands. Okay. So this is a commands, number of commands. This is nothing but number of commands. How many commands you want to execute? Input. So this input is nothing but number of commands you want to execute. This input is nothing but how many commands you want to execute. And for in range of C. Suppose if number of commands or operations are 10, you are executing how many commands? 10 commands. But this 10 command should be, it should be in the list of how many commands? 3 commands. Okay, one is what is the first one? Pop. Second one is remove, and third one is discard. First one is pop, second one is remove, and third one is what? Discard. This 10 commands should be in the list of how many commands? 3 commands. You are reading a command. Command equal to input. But the command is read as a string. The command is read as what here? String. Suppose if the command is a pop, so there is only pop you'll give. If the command is remove, you'll say remove space, the value which you want to remove. If it is discard, you'll say discard space, the value which you want to remove. It means the command is having 2 values. The command is having how many values? 2 values. First value is a command and second one is what? Value. First one is a command and second one is what? Value. You are trying to split this. You are trying to split this at what here? Space. Suppose if my command is remove 10. If it is split this, it will return one list with what is that? Remove. Okay, remove comma. What is the value you are removing? 10. Suppose if the command is pop, then the list is having only pop. If the command is discard 20, it is having discard as well as what? 20. So here I'm checking if command of 0, this is a list, right? This is a list. And within this list, first element is a command. If the command of 0 equal to remove, if it is remove, what I have to do? I have to remove the element from the set by saying set one dot remove. Remove which element you have to remove? This element you have to remove. So you have to say integer of command of 1. So command of 0 is a command and command of 1 is what? Value. Okay, else if command of 0 equal to discard. If the command of 0 equal to which one? Discard. So what you are saying is set one dot discard. Set one dot discard integer of command of 1. Command of 1. Else if command of 0 equal to pop. If the command is a pop, you are saying set one dot. What is it here? Pop. Set one dot pop. And one more is, yes, only 3 commands, right? Discard, remove, and at the end, you have to display what? Sum. You have to display the sum of set 1. Sum of what is that? Set 1. Suppose if the command is discard, if you split this, what is the command here? Discard. What is the command here? Discard. So discard 10. Suppose if the command is pop, you don't say pop value, right? You simply write pop. Now if you split this, it will return only 1. What is that? Pop. It will return only 1, that is pop. So if the command of 0 equal to pop, you are trying to remove the element from the set. So run the code here. Yes. Now code submission is done. Submit the code. Okay, right? Now all the test cases are done. All the test cases are done here. Now sum is 4. Sum is what here? 4. So this is a problem definition. This is a problem definition. Here you have a problem definition. And this is what here? Solution. Yes. Now you can use a set for doing some set operations, mathematical set operations. You can perform some mathematical set operations. You can perform some mathematical set operations. You can perform some mathematical set operations using what? Set. You can perform some mathematical set operations using set. Mathematical set operations using set. So what are the set operations you can do is, okay. So these are the set operations which you can do. So what is the advantage of using a sets is, you can see a set object is unordered collection of distinct hashable objects. Common usages include membership testing, removing duplicates from the sequence, and computing mathematical operations such as intersection, union, difference, and what? Symmetric difference. So, and computing mathematical operations, you're doing some mathematical operations such as intersection, union, difference, and what? Symmetric difference. Now, these mathematical operations you can do it on the set. Okay, now let us see how can you perform this mathematical operations like intersection, union, difference, and one more is what? Symmetric difference. Okay, set operations, set operations. Okay, set operations. Okay, we can perform mathematical, we can perform mathematical operations. Oh, we can perform mathematical operations on set like union, intersection, difference, and one more is symmetric. Can perform mathematical operations like difference, intersection, difference, and one more is what? Symmetric difference. You can perform some mathematical operations like intersection, okay, union, intersection, difference, and one more is what here? Symmetric difference. Difference, and one more is what here? Symmetric difference. So these are performing some mathematical operations can be done by using this. Okay. So there is an operation called here. Yes. So all these are mathematical operations. Now, if you see the Venn diagrams, like the first one is union. See, this can be done by using two things. One is you can do this by using operator, or this can be done using method. This can be done using operator, or this can be done by using what here? Method. So there is a union, but all these operations are immutable. Okay, it will return the result into new set. This will return the result into new set. It will not return the result in the same set, but it will return the result into what here? New set. So return a new set with elements from the set and all others. So it will return the elements from the current set as well as from others. It will return the elements from all the sets, but it returns into what? New set. Union. So this is a Venn diagram of union. If you see Venn diagram of union, it is like this. So where you are saying A union, what is that? B. A union B or A union B. So you can use the operator called pipe. You can also use an operator called which one? Pipe. Or you can also use A union. What is that here? B. So union method you can use, or you can also use a symbol called which one? Pipe. You can also use a symbol called which one? Pipe here. Okay. Yes. So here I have two sets. One is a set 1 with 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there is a set 2 with 1, 2, 3 and 6 and 7. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you want to perform union, set 1 dot union set 2. So it will return the elements from set 1 as well as what? Set 2. It will return the elements from set 1 as well as set 2. But set 2 is having same elements of set 1 or not? Yes. So it will return how many times here? Only one time. So print is set 1 and this is a set 2 and this is what here? Set 3. Now if you see set 3 having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, because set doesn't allow what? Duplicates. Set doesn't allow what? Duplicates. Union. Set 1 dot union set 2. Okay. Yes. But this also done by using operator. Set 1 pipe symbol, set 2. You can use a union. You can use a union method, or you can use an operator called pipe. So set 1 pipe symbol is there and then set 2. Set 1 pipe symbol is there and then what? Set 2. You can see set 4 is having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So all the elements, it is having all the elements. Okay, now we'll try to see how to work with this set operations, but Monday I'll tell you this. So today we'll stop it here and Monday we'll continue this. Okay, right. So thank you. We'll see you on Monday. Thank you.